Hi and welcome to the Arsenal Circle. Here to talk to you today about the latest fixture between Arsenal and Newcastle United. We beat them 2-0 and it was a brilliant victory for the Gunners, keeping us in the title race. But let's go through the starting lineup as we do start off all these videos. First off, it was the exact same lineup as last time out against Chelsea, and I think that was the right decision considering how well they played against Chelsea. And I mean, straight away you can see Jorginho being the right pick. He got the man of match for on FootMob's ratings. I don't know if I'd agree with that myself, but he definitely had a great game. Good to see Jorginho stay in the lineup, and I think he should be a regular starter for us. He's really good enough to do that. Yeah, and he was brilliant today. And so was Jakub Kiwior. He was also brilliant. And it was good to, I think, keep him around. It was the right decision to play him again. You know, after that brilliant game against Chelsea, again, didn't put a foot wrong today. But what went well for us? Well, I think how we started this game was a little bit slow. You know, there was a penalty call for Newcastle, and we let them kind of put on the pressure, and the crowd were really getting into it. But what I liked was the reaction to that. The crowd was on us. We looked like, oh, this is what everyone thought was going to happen, right? We're just going to get spanked by Newcastle. We're out of the race, and that's it. No, we weathered the storm and we went at them. What I loved was the determination from these players, the calmness, the coolness, the collectiveness. We were together, playing out from the back with such a pristine accuracy. You know, the passing was so calm. It was so, I don't know. There's no word to describe how well we just passed around the ball. You know, there was no fear in our eyes. It was as if there was no pressure on us. And to be fair, there is quite a lot of pressure on us going into this game, because you know, if we don't win this, City have won the league. Done. Simple. Over. They still probably will, but we've just kept that pressure on them now. We're now 1 point behind them. Obviously, they have their 2 games in hand. Um, yeah, we're relying on them to drop points twice. It's unlikely to happen. But yeah, we started off this game like that. We weathered the storm, and then bang! That Odegaard goal is just ridiculous. How many times recently have we seen Martin Odegaard do that? So many times, and because of that goal, he's now joint highest scorer for us in the league this season. It's just brilliant from our captain. What a player! You know, I wish he could have done this. You know, played like this against you know, City, and you know, when the pressure's on. I'm hearing a lot of things like, oh, when the pressure's off, this Odegaard becomes the best player in the world, and you know, Odegaard is brilliant, and you know what, it will take a bit, but eventually this team is going to be good enough to play the same level when the pressure is on. And when we are able to do that, this team is going to be very scary. Look at Odegaard in today's match. He played so well. So well. You know, a blind man wouldn't be able to tell if that was Odegaard or Ozil. I mean, a blind man wouldn't be able to tell there was football on in the first place, so that point really means nothing. But basically, he looked like it was Ozil today. Just really, really brilliant from him. You know, that goal, he was just able to get it through Burns' legs, I think. It was quite funny. And from then on out, you know, I didn't feel another one coming in the first half. And you can see, look, we got the goal, and then they really piled on the pressure, and you know, we really had to see out the half to half time. And that's exactly what we did. We played really well to do that. I was really proud of the boys. And going into that second half, we knew it was going to be a difficult task. I really thought we'd have to hold on to a 1-0 lead, but we got a bit fortunate. The second half started the same way the first half did, in the sense that they put on the pressure straight away. The crowd were really into it. They wanted that equaliser, but again, it was not to be. Martinelli, by the way, what a player he is as well. He ran down the whole pitch, and he's just looking for something. He knows that he's not going to score, so he's just pinged it into the middle, along the floor, just hoping for something like this to happen, and it did. Fabian Schär puts it in his own net, and I'm glad it was him. This guy was getting really, really aggressive. I did not like the way he was playing at all. You know, has a bit of an attitude about him. It does. If anyone deserved to be scoring that own goal, it was him. He, you know, in a bad way, obviously. He deserves it in a bad way. So, good to see him get the own goal. And, you know, brilliant goal at that. You know, we don't discredit the goal just because it's an own goal. Martinelli was brilliant in achieving the goal. He, you know, he paced it down the whole half. And as I said, he just hoped in the end, and he hoped enough. for Cher to put it in his own net. And again, it just felt like the same thing. A bit of a back and forth after this goal. Dan Burn being the first yellow card. This is something I wanted to mention because, honestly, whilst I thought the refereeing was really good in this game, um, I just don't understand how the first yellow card came in the 73rd minute. There were so many instances of a yellow card, and this obviously came from uh, a little bit of a fight that broke out. I think. Oh no, this one was from the fight. I don't know. There was a. I can't remember what this one came from. But the amount of yellow cards that should have been given before this, even some for Arsenal players, I will admit, it's quite incredible how there's only 3 in this match. It was a very, very scrappy game, and a very entertaining game. Now I want to go on and talk about Kieran Tierney for a little bit here, because he came on for Zinchenko and he gave us exactly what he needed. We saw Zinchenko, he slipped up a bit right at the start of the half, and he literally slipped up a bit. And you know what? Defensively, Zinchenko really isn't all that. He really has been poor defensively at times this season, and I've liked it. You know, we haven't noticed because at the start of the season he was going forward a lot, and Xhaka was becoming the left back at the start of the season, and Xhaka can do that defensive work. But now that Xhaka is playing more of a forward role more consistently, we can see now that Zinchenko, him defensively, he just wasn't able to do it. He was going up against Jacob Murphy. Like, you've got to be better than that. This guy is not like a elite tier player or anything. He's a very good player at that, but he's not, by far better than us. So it was the right decision to sub him off. But Kieran Tierney, as soon as he came in, a brilliant game. It was like he was trying to impress Newcastle. But we do think he's going there. But it was like he was trying to impress Newcastle, because he just played such a good game. He did everything right. I don't even know how to say. I had to say defensively, he was always there, marking his man. He got forward, provided on the attack. Yeah, I don't think he put a pass wrong. He was the exact substitution we needed in that moment in time, and it seems that Arteta's mid-game management has improved, because I don't think earlier on in the season, if we were in this kind of situation, he would have made that sub. He would have just stuck with the team, but we needed that substitution, and I respect that heavily. And then, obviously, in the 80th minute, we brought on Trossard and Partey, a bit of routine subs these, and Nelson and Ketia. I'm not going to say much about them because they didn't really impact the game that much. It was more about seeing the game out, and they did exactly that. Bit of a scrap at the end, as I said. Cher again, what a guy. Any other notable performances? Well, there was. Aaron Ramsdale today was excellent. I've never seen anything like this guy. Aaron Ramsdale is just such an all-round elite level goalkeeper. He is so good at what he does. He's so confident on the ball. There was a lot of times that he could have slipped up, like Pope almost did earlier in the first half. By playing the ball from the back. He's perfect at doing that. We see him clear it with his left, clear it with his right, but not just that. The shot-stopping ability on this man is just brilliant. All he needs to do is a bit of fine-tuning, a bit of add less mistakes to his game, maybe a better decision-making at certain instances, and this guy will be one of the best keepers in the world. No doubt in my mind. He is exactly who I want for this Arsenal project, and I'm so happy that he looks to be signing a contract extension. He was so good today. Really exceptional performance, as was Jorginho. I did touch on him earlier, but just so commanding in the midfield. There's never pressure on Jorginho. Did not put a pass wrong the whole first half, I think, and just incredible. If you're worried about losing the ball, you gave it to Jorginho. You weren't going to lose the ball. He was truly, what a player Jorginho is. What a signing, by the way, for Arteta to pick that one out from a dying Chelsea squad is really, really impressive. And I'm sure it wasn't just Arteta, but Martinelli as well. He had a pretty good game, although didn't do much apart from. Well, actually, he did do much, didn't he? He got the assist for that own goal. Saka didn't do much this game, but he was good. He was good when he was needed, and same thing with Jesus. Very harsh rating on Jesus there. But yeah, it is what it is. Let's talk about Newcastle now, because we like to talk about both teams. We don't just talk about Arsenal, because it wasn't like Newcastle were terrible. They really put the fight in and gave it to us. Some notable performances were Isak. I liked Isak a lot, and I'm really disappointed that we didn't get him, because he just provides a different type of threat. He's very agile, very tall, and just very commanding. Like, you're not going to tackle that guy. You're relying on him to mess up in some way, shape, or form, because he's just so commanding, and what a player he is. Um, Similarly, Willock, he was a brilliant player today. Of course, he played well against us, but always seemed like a threat on the ball. Um, and yeah, that was it, to be honest. Most of the Newcastle players, they played well, but no individual good performances, if that makes sense. I thought their midfield, Guimaraes and Joe Linton, they should have had red cards each. They were really aggressive, fouling so many times, and they didn't do much at all. We really dominated the midfield in this match, and I think that might have been what won us the match. So really impressive to see that. I mean, if we look at the stats as well, let's look at them. They had more possession than us, they had more XG than us, but we won the match. These stats here, I don't think tell the full story of the game. We were the better team, and we did deserve to win. But at the end of the day, I think this just comes down to, like, look at the momentum at these individual points. When we were on the up, we weren't dominating. When they were on the up, they were dominating. If that makes sense. It was a very even game, and we definitely deserved to win. I'm very proud of the boys. Just a brilliant performance. I think that's all I've got to say, really. Again, let's talk about the fans, because the fans were brilliant. Well done to those Arsenal fans, making a lot of noise from all the way up there in the stadium. And, it seems like some belief in the club again. So, really, really excited to see if we can go on and potentially push for the title. Obviously, I'm not expecting it, but let's see if we can. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed, and comment what you thought about the match. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.